Commission, Thursday, April 17th, 2025. Katie, would you please take roll?
Karen Mao.
I am here.
Liz Lasky.
Here.
Lainey Raska.
Here.
Don Beach is absent. Tim O'Connor.
Present.
Karen Peltola.
Here.
Roll call complete.
Thank you. Has everybody seen the agenda? You all have an agenda?
Yeah.
Anyone like to
Sorry,
approve the
Liz, it's
agenda?
got my attention. I don't know what she's doing.
I would like to approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving right along. Citizen public comments. We have one citizen.
With somebody extra.
No comments?
Comment.
No?
Yet.
Okay. Okay, moving on. Approval of the minutes from, it was way back in February 2025.
Make a motion.
Do we have a second?
Support. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are quick and efficient today. Correspondence. Okay, so I had correspondence from Jen Teller. I don't know if you've seen that. She's asking about an update, and Jeff isn't here to give one on Morton Park parking lot, and she would like us to look into whether we can do additional play structures over there. She thinks we're missing the 5 to 12 range a little bit, but I emailed her back, she emailed back. It's been back and forth a bit, but if anyone has any opinions on whether we should add more to that park in the way of play equipment, or how do you all feel about that?
I'm wondering if, because we don't own the park, if we should invest more money at this time in the park. That would be my concern.
I'd have to agree, that makes sense.
And the
When
other,
there's so many other needs.
Right.
I think the capital improvements in the parks this year was about 5,000 in the budget.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't get us much of a playground piece of equipment.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
Okay,
The only idea, though, speaking of that Eagle Scout did a great job on the sandbox, and that's at Sands Park.
Right.
I wonder if we could ever put one of those at Morton, because that would be for littler kids then. And it had the cat cover at the top and stuff, so I don't know. But that would be, if we could, is any Eagle Scout looking for a project? That was a great project, and maybe someone else in his troop would be willing to do
that's
that
really
with just the
good
cost
idea.
of the lumber. It was a great one, so maybe we could get something for littler kids.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good feeder program too, if you think about it. You know, when we
So-
need those at other parks, we could offer.
Yeah,
those
he's
at-
got the pattern, and I'm not expecting him to do another one, but he might have another
Excellent. Yeah, good idea.
troop mate.
Good idea, Liz.
thank you. Tim? Any input?
No.
No? Okay. Basically, I mentioned that we fit everything that we could into our budget at the time, and we tried to incorporate as many age groups and interests that we could. And but yeah, that is a good point about it not being our land to put money into. But and the parking lot, I was hoping Jeff would be here to give us an update on Morton Park parking lot progress. Nothing from you? Okay.
They're working on it, though, and I think that it could become a reality, right, Katie? It might not be asphalted, I don't know that they have that part worked out, but if it was gravelled and, and set, right, that it would be okay, even gravelled, if we at least got it started and then down the road. So he mentioned that, remember at the meeting, Jeff
Right.
did say there's a possibility, a strong, I think he was thinking it could happen.
Okay.
Great.
Fingers crossed. Okay, and then I know Lainey has written a couple letters we may or may not want to sign.
Should I read them?
If you like, I don't know if you want to.
Yes, please, I think that's a good
I
idea.
don't know that everyone has seen them, so
Right, they haven't.
do you want to explain what they are?
So, the first one, this is the easy one, is to the Manistee City Planning Commission, because they've put Parks and Recreation as several of their goals. And here's, goal and objective 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. Or actually 8 goals.
Perfect.
So I thought it made a good idea to send them a letter of, yay, thanks for your support, and let us know if we can work on something cooperatively. So it says, as a group, the City of Manistee Parks Commission wishes to express our appreciation for the numerous proposed goals related to parks and recreation. As you are aware, City of Manistee Parks Commission goals are incorporated into the Manistee County Master Plan. We feel city parks are a vibrant and integral part of our community that aids in bringing visitors, residents, and businesses to Manistee. We can boast of our beautiful beaches, fishing opportunities, and playgrounds, as well as other recreational opportunities, which provide a variety of fun and relaxing diversions. We know that maintaining and improving our parks is a continual process and welcome any opportunities in which we can work together to better our community. Please feel free to contact our chairperson, Karen Mao, regarding any future cooperative endeavors or park improvement ideas.
Like it.
Very good letter.
That's nice.
Except for I have opportunities too close together in a row. I thought I fixed that, but oh well.
Didn't sound bad to me.
I thought it was.
So if we agree, I don't know
Yes.
if we have to pass the motion, but
Do we have to pass a motion to sign, to agree to sign a letter? Sure. Okay. You want to make a motion?
Who is that addressed to? You said the planning commission?
no, yeah, the City of Manistee Planning Commission.
Okay,
And what we're doing is extending.
And a
that-
copy goes to
Right.
Bill and Jeff, Bill, Gamble, and Jeff.
okay.
No, this is good.
So,
This is right out of there, yeah.
I like it, Lenny.
This is what's supposed to happen.
So-
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to sign this, and Karen can email it to the Planning Commission,
Look at, I got
please.
nervous.
Yes, do you have that email, or do I need to?
It's probably online, I don't have it, go look, like your city commissioners, or your city council is.
Oh,
And do that
Yeah,
confident.
we need a second.
Can I second? That's sure.
Yes.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
Very good.
So I'll sign it and
Yeah.
pass it on.
Down.
Thank you.
The other one, now this one might be some debate, is the Sand Parks / Jefferson School land swap.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So I think it's important, as a Parks Commission, we say as a advisory group how we feel about it. So it goes to Mayor Sullivan and council members. After considerable research, meetings, and debate, the City of Manistee Parks Commissions feels it is time to take a decisive public stance regarding the proposed land swap, because I put it, every time I say it, in parentheses, as presented in several versions, because I'm not sure what it's about yet, definitely. The City of Manistee Parks Commission is a very active, dedicated group which fully supports the city's efforts to keep our parks a viable asset for our community. As an advisory body, it is evident that none of the various scenarios presented provide any athletic or recreational benefit to our overall community. In fact, only negatives have been proposed, such as the reduced hours of availability, loss of intergenerational use, and reduction of green space acreage. Please feel free to contact Park Commission members if you would like more information or have any questions or concerns. You guys got any thoughts on that?
I think it sounds great.
I think we need to take a stance.
I do, absolutely.
I do too. Should be right there. We should have been at the meetings where the design.
There
came
should have
up.
been, yeah.
That's
Or
what I
something.
want. Yeah, that's when we need to be there.
But, that's been a past issue, that they don't tend to include us in decision makings like that.
The only thing, Lainey, that I'm sorry, I didn't get to read it
Yeah.
before coming here. Where it says there's no benefit to can you read that line again?
Okay,
There's,
This one.
in fact, only negatives have been proposed, such as the reduced hours of availability, loss of intergenerational use, and reduction of green space acreage. Those are just
no,
three.
I like that one. It might have been the one before. It said something about there's no community benefit.
Oh, okay, as an advisory body, because that's all we are, it is evident that none of the various scenarios presented provide any athletic or recreational benefits to our overall community.
Okay.
Overall,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, because I was just thinking,
Because
well,
it
this
does
is a
do
benefit.
grades 5 and under.
Oh, yeah.
But you're saying the greater
Yeah, yeah,
other than, I get what you're saying.
yeah.
Okay.
so
I see.
it's just something.
I like all that. That's kind of
So
what I
somebody
said.
else, if it's okay,
Yeah, I make a motion.
okay.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
There's one more letter, and this one, I think we should read. It was
Thank you.
addressed to the city council, but it kind of does include the parks, so
Well, I am the secretary.
it's thank you for your part in getting improvements to the Manistee River Walk. I understand that there are not plans to improve the wooden walk from Spruce Street West to near the boat launch. My concern is that that part of the river walk gets very slippery when wet. Please promote a way to treat this as it is a safety issue for resident and visitor alike. Perhaps it could be power washed or painted with a grit. I had hoped the slippery issue would be addressed with the recent sizable grant money. If not, please find another way to make our whole frequently used river walk safer to use. Thank you for listening and for serving our city. And it was Kathy Butler at 547 First Street, Manistee. And I think it's a very legitimate request. That gets that green algae on there, and it is extremely slippery. I thought it's a liability issue, so.
Which
Isn't-
section? Sorry.
She's talking from Spruce Street down to the boat launch. You know, part of that's Trex and part's cement, so it's not a large parcel. But
I thought she meant more closer to the marina. That area, I guess I visualized.
because that part's going to kind of be addressed till Spruce Street. So
Yeah, but I don't think she knew that.
she did say from Spruce Street west. So Spruce
Okay.
Street west
Okay.
Towards
to
the
near
lake.
the boat launch. So west of Spruce Street is going
Okay,
past
I
John-
see, yeah.
former funeral home.
It's mainly the part where you're in the shaded area.
Yes, it is.
Probably, yeah, where
Yes,
it can't
green.
dry.
It's
Slopes.
algae
Some of them
and
are
it
sloped
slopes.
and-
Yeah, it does get slippery, and she lives on First Street, so that's probably the section that she most walks, you know. But it's not just her, it is slippery, so. So I think that's something we should, power washing would help, and I think she's thinking, I've used that grit in our house. I don't know that you can do it
Yeah,
outside.
sounds good.
That,
Just thinking of that grit tape too,
Oh, there you go.
can we not power wash anymore?
right?
Okay.
I think something about that wood that they use, the city
You
wouldn't
know
allow.
what I'm talking about?
Because it
Manistee
pollutes.
House.
The treated wood, treated lumber.
Well, then, what they did at the other section, they used OxyClean and used a scrubber with the seeds kids helped do that.
Yeah.
But I think we should address that. If someone had a legitimate complaint.
Oh,
And it's
absolutely.
not just her.
How
It's,
about the grit tape?
I don't know if she meant tape or she meant what we used was,
There
it's like a
is a
silica.
grit, yes.
And I don't know if you could put that on with something, how you could do it. We did it in paint, I sprinkled it on our stairs that had
Right.
fallen down. But,
Get fall-
I think, maybe someone can we could look into that and
Okay.
see and ask Jeff, what's the best solution to that? But I think we should address it.
Yeah, no, I
Could-
don't wanna see anybody
Could
get
you
hurt.
give Jeff a note? Because like that grit tape would at least be easy to install.
Slippery deck.
And you wouldn't have to replace it with paint. I've used
I
that
don't know.
before it flakes, every year like you're doing it.
Now, mine didn't flake, because it was a silicate, just like a sand, but it wasn't really probably sand. But you just put it, so I don't know what you'd have to put down first, if it was a little bit of
Epoxy?
glue or epoxy or
It's
something.
an epoxy and then they add the grit to it?
No, you can
No.
put it on anything. We just use the paint that we'd always used on the stairs, and I
Oh,
sprinkle
okay.
it on top, and it works. It's a-
Oh, really?
I mean,
Okay.
it's the
That's-
easiest improvement and best we did in our house.
That's cool.
What if they trim the trees so there's more sunlight?
That
Or
could
no,
happen,
yes,
too.
that's an idea too.
Yeah, that would be a
That could
great
work.
solution.
Yeah, a combination, probably both. Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anybody else have correspondence? Anybody? Okay. Moving on to Tim with Eyes on the Park. Just need Duffy.
I'm here to admit I didn't do my report. I'll do a better job next time. Yeah, I get up here a little bit late tonight,
You're
so
here,
I didn't get an
You're
opportunity
here.
to visit the
And-
parks.
You know, I-
Smell good.
We forgive.
I'll make sure I do a better job next time.
I actually, it's soccer season, so I'm out there 4.5 hours a week at Duffy. So I can just say Duffy looks great. It's beautiful. It's really idyllic when all the kids are out there playing soccer and it's full and there's people
beautiful.
on the
Oh, yeah.
playground and it's
The ball diamond look good?
Ooh, I admit I did not walk the ball
I'm
diamond.
just curious.
But everything else is just.
And they used to have groups that used to dedicate get a group of people and always used to clean up the ballparks. You know, I'm not sure what it's like over there. I'll take a look at it.
But the one thing Liz and I noticed was it last week we drove by?
Yes.
The concession still
I was just
isn't
right.
cleaned out inside, so
Oh,
no
good.
one can sell
And there's
anything.
less in there than there was, but there's still too much to make it viable, and it also needs just to be cleaned. But I think we just,
There was one piece of equipment sitting right up there in the front.
and I think we
It was a
probably don't know
liner
whose
or
that
something.
is.
Are we gonna try to do something, some type of
We
vending?
were going to offer the space.
Oh, for
anyone
somebody
who
to
would
do
like-
it?
Unless you're offering to go sell donuts and,
When I'm up here full-time next year, that'll be my goal, to operate that and run.
I like that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it is a concession stand. It
yeah.
should be
Oh my
used
gosh,
for-
it'd be fun.
I think so too.
Hot
Does-
chocolate, coffee,
Yeah.
It's a
hot
convenient-
Popcorn.
simple stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love that, people would love that.
Candy for the kids, always candy.
Does anybody want to help clean the concession?
I would help clean.
I will. I'll
Okay.
clean it.
When-
Pick a date. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
just
I mean,
send
I
out an
don't mind
email.
helping if I'm up here.
I'm a
Okay.
good cleaner.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Is that a
It should be
weekend?
clean.
Are you guys thinking a weekend when you?
Yeah,
you know,
that'd be better.
okay, yeah.
a weekend?
And then let's identify who owns that piece of equipment and maybe get that out before we get in there. And I think if we can identify it, I know he had mentioned it, Eric Thumma would of course take it. You know,
Yeah.
it's a liner, so. And maybe they are currently using it there, so we better.
I think they are, 'cause last
Oh,
time I
they-
I
talked
can
to
call,
him,
I'll call
he was
Eric.
interested in it,
That
yeah.
equipment somewhere, and there's no other shed or anything
Right.
inside.
Ask him, because
Right,
maybe,
for
it's-
example.
I'm
there.
thinking in my
Yeah.
head, I don't see anything.
No.
When is
Okay.
soccer
I'll call
season
him.
again?
It began.
Is
That's
it
what it
started
sounds like.
already?
I haven't seen it, but it sounds like a striper.
It's the second week
Okay.
this week. But maybe there's just a better corner we can push it into, so it's
Yes.
not right out there. Okay. Laney.
Okay, so Reeds Park looked overall pretty good, but there's that drain they're working on,
Okay.
and they do have it covered, but man, that's an awfully big hole. And I guess I'm wondering when they're gonna fix that. It's right along, they just have it covered with a pellet
Okay.
and a thing, and it's.
Orange cone.
Yeah. And I could just see some kid like, oh, this looks like a cool hole. I'm gonna
Like
follow
I
it."
would do. Right?
Yeah.
Like get real close to look at
So
it.
that
Yeah.
that looked pretty good. Morton Park doesn't have a garbage can. I don't know what happened to it, but it's being used and there's no garbage can there. So if you could see that.
Yeah, they
garbage-
pull them for the winter. I think they just they started putting them back out.
Yeah, well, and there was when I'm visiting, I pick up
Yeah.
garbage. There were a lot of people playing basketball, and actually there was an older group and then two young kids. I don't know if they were the same group, but while I was there, the older group said to the younger group, "Do you want to play now too with us?" And they said, "Yeah." So.
no, that's neat.
There's some
Yeah.
intergenerational play right
Yeah,
there.
exactly. So that was kind of cool to see. Now, 9th Street boat launch. That was an interesting visit. So, Tom Brunner, you know, the lawyer prosecutor, was fishing off the on the shore, caught a pike.
No.
And I pick up garbage as I go along. And it's a little bit of a struggle because you got to go up and down these embankments and stuff that are busted concrete. And it's ugly. So while I'm there, I see this fishing line, which, people leave behind. It's garbage. And I start pulling it.
Oh, no,
and I'm
I've got a
pulling it.
story like this. And it's
Pull
got
it.
a fish on the end, right?
Nope, I'm pulling it and pulling it. I'm like, what the heck? Is this ever going to end?
Dead body.
And the weird thing was it didn't snag on anything.
Oh.
So I pull it out, and it's a hunk of beef, like kind of wrapped up on a hook on this heavy duty, 80-pound test line. And I throw it in my garbage bag because, it was garbage. Somebody could have tripped on it or anything, the way the line was. So I'm going on my way. Pretty soon this kid, claimed he was 16, he comes up to me and says, "Did you happen to see my fishing line?" Now, as far as I know, isn't it illegal to throw your line out
And then walk away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like,
think.
I says,
Yeah.
yeah. I said it looked like garbage. It was tied around a stick, not a stick, a broken
Limb.
tree limb. Yeah, thank you. And I thought it was garbage, so I picked it up, and it's all a tangled mess in my garbage bag now, and I think it's kind of illegal. And oh no, I do this all the time. I says, what are you fishing for? He says, well, I really like to get some suckers, but musky. And I'm thinking, oh my God.
No.
I said, I think you should go home and look at the fishing regulations, because I don't want to see you get in trouble.
Good for you.
We left it at that.
Yeah.
And then I got to talk to the two homeless people.
Are they living there?
No, but I'm sure they were walking their way down the train tracks to find a place for shelter, because
Sure.
it was. So that was, and they were, very, I didn't spend that much time visiting with them, but the guy said, I says, are you aware of any? He says, yeah, we've been kicked out of, shelters are closed for the season, and I said. He says, we're not going to, it was funny because he said, we don't plan on being homeless forever. But, it seems to me, a lot of the times you go down the highway, you see somebody with their belongings in their cart behind them. It's I don't know, it just doesn't look good for Manistee, and it can't be good for them.
All right.
But it was sad, and I said to him, I said, I'm sorry, but, I'd let you come home, but I can't disrupt my life either. And they're like, oh, yeah, I know, we understand.
Yeah.
They were really good about it. So that was an interesting visit. So that's my story. And then,
Did you get all that, Katie? You wrote that down?
well, I think because there's a porta potty there, that it does attract homeless people. Because I've noticed the black, navy blue beater truck there. And but we really need a lid for the garbage can there, because it's a raccoon skunk magnet.
Did they put one last year?
I asked for it and it never happened. And the other thing is when it's windy, it takes everything out of the garbage and throws it into the lake. So it has to be something heavy. So maybe the metal guy, the welder guy, could devise something, because it's it's woodsy. And then and it with the chain on it. Oh, I forgot to mention, there's a broken tree at Morton Park. Yeah. It's the one, the new one close to the basketball court.
The one that we just planted?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One of the
It's-
skinny
it's-
ones. That's probably
And they
why
must
it
know
didn't see it.
because the top is gone.
Oh, no.
It stands about this high, but there's no top laying around.
The
So-
tree commission put in one there too, so which one?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
they-
It's just the one close to the basketball court.
We were supposed to have 5, and then the tree commission added 1, but I don't know that we got all
I think
5.
that was one of the ones we had
Okay.
planned on.
The other thing was every park had dog turds around it. Everyone. Which was kind of,
That's a little disheartening.
at Reed's Park, there's a dispenser. And
There's a dispenser there and it wasn't being used?
right, the doggy bag.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know there isn't one at 9th Street, and I think I've asked for one there too. So if we could get a doggy thing. And then, I don't know about Morton Park if there's one, but it was like a common denominator.
I don't think there is anymore.
Yeah.
Morton would be a good one if it isn't
I
there.
think
can't
Martin
remember.
has one.
I think it was on the grant to get one, but if it
I think it's
isn't
on the
there,
fence line near
people do
us.
take the dogs there. I think there is one. We'll look.
I saw one there, yes.
We'll look.
Okay,
That's my report.
okay.
Good job, lady.
Nice job.
I didn't meet any homeless people or lawyers. Mine's gonna be pretty boring. Okay, so, let me see, I got my little notes here. Okay, Diamond 1, deck box is under the spectators bench, or, I'm spectator. The commentators, box, and it's on its side. I don't know what, it's a big old white deck box with some maybe locks on it.
Okay.
So I don't know what's in it. I don't know how it got on its side. That diamond looked really good. The dress on it still looks fairly decent if they haven't done anything to it this year. There is some volunteer growth along the fence lines. That's cosmetic though, but it is helpful. Bleacher maintenance, painting, could be done to all of them. The spectator and the team benches. Also, there was some boards that had some splinters on the edge. And I just worry about people sitting on it in the shorts in the summertime, things of that sort, getting hooked on it and getting I only saw it on one board, and it was on the one right behind the backstop. As you walk from the little parking area, I saw it. The fence fabric underneath the no dog sign was twisted and sticking out, but it didn't appear to have any sharp edges. But it's like like something grabbed it and pulled it out. So it's like a corner of the fence fabric that sticks out from the fencing. That's at the first baseline. Right outside of the, right under the no dog sign. Diamond 2, south one, broken plastic fence topper. Can we have that removed or replaced anyway? I think it's a safety issue. That yellow tubing is hard plastic, and when you touch it, like it's all crumbled on the first baseline, along first baseline near the player's bench all the way down. And I consider that a safety issue. Anything could get caught in it, a kid's cord from his, from his hoodie, anything like that, because it's not, yeah. If that could be replaced, I'd like to see that, or removed. Bleachers are peeling. I can tell that it was just painted, and the top bleacher, the paint's coming off of it already. Now, I don't know if we did that painting, or if a volunteer group did the painting, but it's starting to peel. Winter debris cleanup, just the leaves and stuff. But there is a 5-gallon bucket of, I wasn't going to check what was in it. Near the third baseline on the other side of the commentator's booth, in the corner of the fencing at the entrance. So as you walk into the diamond, it's like right in the corner before you actually get to the infield edging needs trimming to redefine that area. The volunteer growth encroaches every year. It just happens, Let's see. Do you know anything about they got the base staples on Diamond 2, the South Diamond. Are those magnetic breakaway bases? Anybody know that? I gotta ask. Okay, that's what it looked like. And I was just curious on that. I don't know how you put down bases if you don't have base staples, I guess. And who supplies the magnetic bases? Those were expensive. Just curious.
Sure.
Okay, I see the base staple in there, kind of, with the magnetic part on it. But if you wanted to use regular tie-down bases, the soft ones, I don't know how you would do it unless you put, I don't like those, using stakes, because once those stakes come undone, then they're a hazard too. Okay, Arthur Street, there was a bag on the collection box. What do you know about that? It's taped all the way around the collection box.
That they haven't opened it yet?
Yeah.
For the season?
Protection.
Oh, no, who takes care of that?
City Hall.
Who?
City Hall.
Oh, okay, so they do all of that. So
Yeah.
there's a bag
They
on it
supply
that's
everything and
taped?
then.
Okay.
Yep, and then.
So it
and then
must be
we'll go-
free till they untape it.
Okay, it must be, yeah, and let me tell you, there was tons of people in there today.
Yeah.
The parking block was moved, and thank you, they had that, the one that was out of sync there. Bathrooms were locked. The cove area and doors need cleaning or painting, either one. They're just pretty dull and kind of look old. Debris piles from winter needs to be removed along the curbs. But the wall, you guys they did an excellent job on taking all the volunteer vegetation out of the wall, nice and clean. Yeah, so that looks good. Man-made porta potties laying on its side.
Completely on its side?
Completely on its side.
That's a big.
into the parking lot, or like that little driveway, you know, you have the parking lot and then it goes around. Thinner there where it's at.
When were you at Man-Made? Because
Today.
somebody called.
2 o'clock
And
maybe?
the contractor set it back up, so I'm wondering if somebody's knocking that down
I was there around 2 o'clock.
purpose. Yeah, but this is just a couple weeks ago.
So it's been
They
set
stood,
back
yeah, they
once.
said, right. That's
Okay,
what I'm
gotcha.
wondering. And
I
then,
wonder if it's the wind.
and we were just talking about the other parks, same thing.
Oh,
so-
okay.
I wonder if it is a wind. We've had unusually
Yeah,
strong winds.
I don't know.
I don't know either. So, yeah.
Okay, but good to know.
Do we officially own that other piece of property there at Man-Made yet?
I haven't heard anything.
I don't
on
think
that.
so.
Yeah.
I asked Jeff last week, he said not yet.
Not yet. They're-
Not yet, because we got that orange mesh, just kind of laying half in the sand and half out.
Yeah.
I think it's a danger myself, kind
But
of like
that's
a
our
safety issue.
property.
Right, but I mean, it's not up like it should be. It's not upright, it's kind of laying down, and then it's half in the sand, half out. So if I was walking, didn't pay attention, I don't know if my foot would fit in one of those holes, but that could happen too. Okay, that was my report.
Do you want to go next, Les, or shall I?
Yes.
You go. Okay.
One second. I think we can- Okay, I had the marina, start with that. And it's not open for the season, so some of the stuff would probably be done. Last night, both sets of lights were working. That's huge, you know. They have not worked, it's been inconsistent, and it looks so nice. I was with some other people, and they said, wow, the lights are working, it looks great. So that's a positive. There's a new swing, one of those freestanding double bench swings, and it was repaired, and the wood was replaced. But now we have one painted and one unpainted. So I'm thinking they both should be painted, because I don't think we want to strip the other one. So I would say, let's paint those. We need to paint on the leading out to the gas can, or the gas dispensary, the no smoking. I don't know if it just says no smoking or no smoking on whatever. And then the doors at the upper part, the restroom doors need painting. The front doors look good, they're burgundy, but everybody goes down, it's part of River Street, that's really used. If we could get those doors painted, that would be great. And then, I don't know, this might be more of a Harbor Commission request, and I know we haven't had time to do it yet, but we are probably going to need more boat protectors that go over the post. They slip and everything. I don't know if we have more in stock or if.
We
but-
do.
Okay.
I try to keep up on them every year.
Yes.
There's posts in the middle, the pilings that will need the DPW barge, and I tried to get them to do that last year. So you'll notice that the post that sets in the middle of the two slips, you can't get to it by the dock, so they have to use the barge to place. You're talking about the caps on the pilings? Is that what you're?
I'm actually talking about those little boat protectors. They're like the bumper pads, the white
Oh,
bumper
bumpers.
pads. Because the
Oh.
one guy commented, it is hard. You have to have them on there. And
The
he,
tube bumpers? The tube?
Oh, the port.
they're kind of like I think
Right,
they're
right.
actually
Oh,
Right,
okay.
plastic. But they did a good job because after the surge, they permanently implanted the posts. In some arenas, the posts have give, but the guy said, when you come in with
Yeah.
a boat, you can get caught on the stanchion, the ring that goes around, and it just rips the heck out of your boat. And as he was telling us that, I saw a boat do it, so I know. And he said, you just have to make sure those protectors are completely wrapped over that spot, and you can't miss any. He said, you don't have them all out here, and he said, that's a liability. And I thought, I don't like to hear that word liability. So,
Right.
and I don't think he ever asked for anything on that, but it did his boat some. So, and then, I think people, they're gonna start coming, that area, and it just hasn't had a chance to be spring cleaned yet, but the leaves around the deck, that decking area. The furniture looks great after the winter, that burgundy polywood looks perfect, but that does need to be completely blown out and cleaned. Let's see, what else there? Oh, the bushes are dead that were just planted up at the upper part there. Larson's planted them. They're probably still under warranty. We've got about 10 bushes up there that are dead, and I think that they would replace those if we requested it. I think we have to just contact them. They know they put them in.
We're sure they're dead or just not sprouted out?
They're like boxwoods that keep their, I mean, I had,
Oh,
I have,
okay, they're evergreen.
yeah, they should be looking good right now.
Oh,
They-
you're right. Mine
They
are
look dead
looking
in the
good.
fall,
Yes.
so I
Yeah.
kept my eye on them. They're still dead.
Okay.
So
Sprinklers there? Are there underground sprinklers at the,
there must, are there sprinklers there, Katie? I don't know. It looks nice and green most of the time.
I don't know if there is right there.
I don't know if I ever
We
remember
do have
seeing 'em.
sprinklers, but yeah, I'm not sure. They are, they are throughout the lawn, but I'm not sure if they're getting watered.
And then the biggest thing there is that shuffleboard looks like it really needs power washing. It's so dirty. And that's part of it's the winter, and part of it we had the skating rink over it. So the shuffleboards, not insignia, the shuffleboard mark-offs are gone. So it, to be usable right now, it has to be painted. So that's huge. And then, in the dog park, there was a bench that definitely, when I say the dog park, I mean the little dog hydrant at the marina. It needs to be painted. And the shuffleboard, I said, and so that's it for the marina. And then at the Lions Pavilion, one of the lights, and they didn't, one of the overhead ceiling lights came down, someone set it on a table. I don't know if it's reusable or not, but, so we got a blank
Hole in
conduit
the
junk, a
ceiling.
hole in the ceiling. And so that needs to be repaired. There is a very full trash can that has been there for a while. It was there when I put the, back in the corner. So,
Okay.
and then it needs the. and I-
Inside?
Yeah, inside. And then on the outside, where you're sitting there, and people, a lot of people never leave the car, that we have a nice sign, it's a Trex black sign, and it has the requirements of the Ramsdale. That's good, it's all good that's in there, but the backboard has, like rust lines or something. If we could put, I don't know if it's a sheet of plastic, but something more eye appealing. As you're sitting there, it just looks neglected. So I thought we gotta update that. We have to update the, and I know there's nothing happening and there's nothing been happening, but our calendar says October of '24, so then it looks like we're behind the wheel there, that, welcome spring or something, we should have, and then the events that are probably booked already in June for graduations and stuff, and maybe even post-July's, post what we have, but let's get that up to date there. And, what else? And then cleaned out. There's a lot of sand in there, and that's no one's fault. And then a lot of the picnic tables, there's some that have bad boards, and they all need painting. And maybe we could get a volunteer group to paint them. I know we painted them, paint doesn't last, especially now when they took all that other stuff out of it. So I think we need a group to maybe sand them and paint them, but we charge for that. And so we're having nice events there. We get weddings, we get graduations. They should be, people paying to rent, they should be square, and they should be nice, so.
Can't we use some of the money that we've earned from the Lions Pavilion and buy the picnic tables that don't have to be painted? I mean, that seems like a nice improvement.
That would be,
Would be, that would be.
That'd be very nice.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that, we got that money in there, that
Yes.
account, that just, we need to start using that or we lose it.
And I
Well,
I agree with
and
you.
there might be money left over from the 24-25 budget,
Oh, I'm sure.
so that, that would be a good use for a little thing, we
That's a
couldn't,
great
I know
idea.
it's not $25,000,
sit out there
but,
all winter, right? They don't bring in the picnic tables, do they?
They're in shelter, but
But still, they got the wind and the ice and.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be great, because every year we go through the same thing, and
Yep.
it needs boards, they need paint, they need splinters, I mean,
That'd be a
it's,
great idea.
we're charging, seems like we want a better.
Katie, do you know the balance
Hollywood was, I'm sorry,
in the account? I think it wasn't it 11,000 last time?
something like
That
that.
was 11 or
12 maybe even.
13, I thought.
13?
Start replacing.
I can get that.
yeah,
send it
let's
to
look at
everybody.
it.
Yeah, just
Check before.
curious.
Next meeting, and then the other thing we've asked, talked about it, not asked, for 3 years, the boards on those little cubicles or little, whatever you call them, the mini
Cabanas.
shelters,
Cabana.
the cabanas.
Yes.
So they're partially Trex, the pillars, but the overhead part is wood. And I don't know if we could get it sprayed or whatever, but just a good coat of white paint there would go a long ways. And there again, we rent those out. People, we're not renting the cabanas, but
No,
the
it's part of
overflow, you
that.
put a wedding cake under there. Yeah, we should. And then moving down, that's it for the Lions Pavilion. Moving down to the beach, the bathrooms aren't open and it hasn't been, it's not been cleaned yet, so it needs to be blown out. I would suggest if we could, power washing that. The floor is really dirty and so many people see it just in that concession area and everything. If there's any way we could power wash that, that would be great. And the tables are better down there than they are up at the Lions Pavilion. The ones that are covered under that, at First Street Beach, they're in better condition. And then there's this one strip of, we have those stainless counters against, underneath the covered area. One of them has a stainless strip missing, and just, we need to finish that. So I guess that's it.
All right, good eye on detail, wow. That's awesome. Okay, John's not here. Did anyone happen to go by Sands, North Beach, or Veterans Memorial, just on a whim?
I mean, I did drive by both, but I don't have anything that, yeah.
Okay. All right, so I was all ready to impress Jeff with my PowerPoint slides with photos. I was just having fun. But I don't even know if you noticed, but Sean isn't on here anymore, and Lainey and I split up his park. She took Reed's and Morton over on the east side, and I took
you,
Mac
guys.
from Lainey.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Mac Park I went to this morning, and I can even show pictures. There's a shade tree. I don't know if that was there in the fall, a newly
Okay. Oh,
planted
no.
tree. Is
Yeah,
that
it was there.
last year? Did they do that in the fall, summer?
I don't
I
remember.
think they did it in the summer.
that-
It's been.
Okay.
Okay.
First time I noticed it,
Yeah.
because that was not my park, but,
Yeah.
it looks nice. It looks like they might have, do you know, did they aerate over there? There were little holes all over the lawn,
I
or
don't
there's a lot of
know.
little moles, a little
Oh.
army of moles. They're just little holes. I think it's aeration, but they
Could
were.
be night
Could it be
crawlers.
worms? Yeah.
Night crawlers?
Night crawlers?
like-
Yeah, yeah, this is the time of year they start
Or
coming out,
squirrels.
right?
Really?
Yeah.
I'd rather imagine that it's been aerated and overseeded.
Well, okay, then it
The
has.
creepy crawly things, but I just wondered if they did that, and if they did, I was gonna say it was impressive.
I'll have to get
because-
out there and look.
And maybe a neighbor did it, you don't know.
I don't know, but it was really noticeable on some of the bare, I don't know if you can see, there's like bare sandy patches in some places on the grass. So if they did that, I think that's really cool. And that's the good stuff. Page 2. There's a set of bleachers on the west side, and it's all metal, except the bottom bench is wood, the bottom bleacher bench. And I didn't run my hand on it, but it looks pretty
Rough. Yeah, that's what.
so I was just gonna ask if we could maybe get a new board. They did such a great job when they redid the ones down at Duffy Park, which still look amazing. It's just a single board. It might be nice to, if anybody has spare time, to do a board. But there's that, and then there's a huge tree that came down on the east side of the park. I don't know if you guys knew about that. It's not in the baseball field, but it's right up against the fence on the backside.
Really?
And I have photos, and look how big, it's huge.
Oh, yeah, it is big.
And I think if I was a child, I'd be like, oh,
Oh,
let me climb that.
climb,
And
yeah.
it's up in the air, 45 degrees, and it looks like it could
Good, yeah.
be not good
That's like big.
near a playground.
Right?
Yeah.
So I wondered if you guys knew about that, or there were
That is a
plans to
huge
remove
tree,
it.
yeah.
And then there's 4 baby swings, the 3 on the south side. Each, I took pictures, have like exposed metal rims or warped, and looks like someone took a bite out of it. I don't know how.
Wow.
Oh, that's,
And somebody's
They had
little,
a
like,
rough winter.
caught in
Land-
Oh, yeah,
in
absolutely.
that little broken part of the seat. So I was gonna ask, is it either possible to replace 3 of the baby swings, or could we replace 2 of them with a bench, a swinging bench? So maybe mom, grandma, not to be sexist, but grandpa,
I
and
get it.
dad
No, I
could
get
sit on
it.
the bench with their child and.
Some intergenerational.
Right,
again?
exactly.
Yes.
If we don't want to do, I don't know if there's ever 4 babies swinging at once out there, because I don't go by there as often since I'm not over on that side of town. But there's that, and then I wish I had snapped a picture of the recently repainted playground equipment, because it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It
does.
really upgraded
Yes, it
the
does.
park. It feels really nice, especially that climbing structure in the back. It's so, I don't know if they sprayed it or what, but it's so smooth. It's like,
Beautiful, ain't
it's
it?
gorgeous.
yes,
So.
that's a nice park.
Yeah, and then the slide structure, there's a big platform on top, and there's all these rustic boards that they didn't paint, and I'm glad, because it actually looks kind of cool. It's very rustic, and it almost makes it look historic, and it adds character, right?
Gotcha.
The seat bench, maybe not, because you don't want
No.
splinters, like someone said.
Right, I'm always,
Yeah, no, I think the equipment looks really nice, so
good.
I'm gonna give that to
Can I look?
Katie, yeah, definitely. And then I did Rotary Park, and I wrote for Jeff, I literally stepped out of my car and exclaimed, oh my goodness, what a perfect idyllic little park. It was just
Isn't it?
beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, it's clean, there's no weeds,
Yeah.
it's just, it was perfection, until I walked around the backside and I found one little thing. There's one of those intercom things, the things that you talk into
Oh,
and
yeah.
you hear it somewhere
Yes,
else.
yes.
Used it.
It looks like
Somebody jammed something in?
somebody must have jammed something in it because it got broken and all the pieces are inside, and I wouldn't want anyone's little arm to get caught
Oh, trying to.
sticking it in there or scraped, so. But otherwise, it was like, if there
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
there is.
perfect park, that, I think, it like nears perfection. It's just, the equipment's in great shape, it's clean, it's, yeah.
Real
That
nice.
was the easy one.
Yeah,
But, and then there was Lighthouse Park. I think we should, if you guys want to, we should do a what is your favorite park in Manistee? Because I think Lighthouse Park would win. It's always, if people
Have a
voted and
contest?
said, what's your, yeah, like,
I
what's
like
your
that.
favorite playground or your favorite
Yeah.
park?
we
or-
could. I'm
And
gonna
why?
throw it on Facebook,
And
right?
why?
To have
And
them
why?
reply.
Well, you know, the News Advocate has those best of.
Good idea.
Maybe we can add
Oh,
park.
best
playground.
part,
Yeah,
oh, that would
yeah.
be fun.
I wonder what time of year.
That's a good
they do that. We
idea.
could ask, we could
Yeah.
ask, thank you, that's a great idea. I think it would be
That
Lighthouse,
is a
because
good
even on the middle of a school day today, it was around noon to 1, there were 20 people over there.
Oh,
yeah.
There was, it looked like students, teachers walked over, and I had my kids there, and it was just,
It's the
Nice.
favorite
and it
amongst
was
my
cool, but,
grandkids.
yeah, all my kids, that's their favorite park. It's, I mean, if you
And it's
tried to
got that
replicate.
parking lot. It's got a good, decent asphalted with plenty of parking.
But if you tried to replicate the equipment that's there and buy all of that and those kind of structures, I
Yeah.
cannot imagine what that would cost. So this is, I think it's such an asset for Manistee, which tells you nothing about the condition, because the red fireman pole, a lot of the red paint's rubbed off, so it looks kind of horror movie, like there's red up here and a little red down at the bottom, and it might look nice with a fresh coat of paint, but. And then like a crooked picture on the wall, those octagonal picnic tables in the back, it looks like they tried to level them a bit because they're better than last year, but they're still just a bit off. And I want to go over and just adjust and perfect them, because that's my,
Like a picture on a wall.
I don't know. But I just wondered if it's possible to level those really well. Like, I'm sure if people move the center little table, it's going to get off kilter again. But could we put a cement pad or something underneath, something that would be level, like a little patio pad under those tables that would make them,
Could you do patio blocks?
I don't know. But then you
Well,
get
the
weeds.
DPW
Yeah, no,
probably
that's
could
not good.
easily
Yeah,
enough.
The maintenance there would
Do
be too much.
something
do
to make
something,
them
yeah.
not so off kilter.
Right.
But, and then there's a wrapped board. I don't even know how to explain. It's on the edge of a corner of a platform, and there's some 2x4 boards, and then they're wrapped with some kind of covering to, I guess, protect.
From falls.
Or
Oh, yeah,
from
yeah, and
bumps
that's,
or-
yes.
But one of them looks pretty bad, all the.
Is that like
covering.
carpeting? Is that like carpeting
more of a
stuff so the kids don't
rubbery-
hurt themselves when they climb on and off, right?
It's not carpet though, it's more rubbery feeling,
Is it?
papery rubber.
Okay.
But anyway, it's all torn apart and doesn't look great. Just
Right.
one of the, I saw 3 of them, and one
Okay.
of them is not good. And then there's some graffiti under the slide
Yeah,
structure
no, yeah.
closest to Cherry Street.
If we can get rid of the graffiti as soon as it happens, let me tell you.
Yep.
That puts a
That's
squash, a
exactly.
kibosh on anything.
So we should, yeah.
And I
It
took
needs to
pictures.
Paint it.
You can't actually read what it says. It looks like gibberish, but
Yeah, it does.
it's not.
No, but,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
no,
not
they know
chalk.
what it says, yeah,
It's
Yeah.
not chalk. It's.
Oh, I
looks to
can,
be
I can
paint.
decipher that.
yeah.
Welcome to Lighthouse Park.
From underneath the structure, I
Yeah.
like it, yeah. In
And-
case you're a mole from Mac Park.
There you go. And speaking of nice, that when they cleaned that Lighthouse Park sign, the tall one that looks like a
Yeah.
lighthouse, it still looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be dirty or rusty or something again this year, but it's
does,
really
yeah.
nice.
Oh, wow, you did catch
So-
something there, yeah.
And then my other one is the disc golf course, and I admit I didn't walk the whole thing, but from what I could see walking around Lighthouse Park and out by Rotary Park and around that area. It looks really beautiful. I mean,
It was a nice article too on it. It's
Yeah.
in the paper, it was a nice, they had something
they just had a tournament.
recently.
right?
Yes, and it was good.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's being
Saturday,
used.
last
Yes, it was a nice article,
When my boys and I played about 6 weeks ago, it was beautiful.
and people are using it.
So those are mine. And I'm gonna send these on to,
Yeah, I'll take them with me.
Thank you.
okay.
Could've gone up, sorry.
Can I go back?
It's nice to have pictures.
Can I go back? I got some correspondence while we were sitting here on Fifth Avenue Beach.
Oh,
Okay.
The canopy. Katie, you know if there's any plans to replace that?
I
did
know
hear-
about that.
I did hear them discussing it,
Yeah,
so yeah.
so Jeff did go, I don't know why we were, it must have been
Yeah.
after a council meeting. Anyways, it was still under warranty. And it took some finagling to find the right documentation to prove that, but there's a new one on the way.
Oh, nice.
Those have withstood, I mean, up to that
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
they have been good, so yes, it's free.
Awesome.
It will be fixed.
All right. How about the tennis, or how about the basketball hoop at the tennis court? That has been down for 4 years at least, that not getting replaced.
4 years ago, I watched a
Yes.
young man just shoot at the backboard.
It's
So-
like one of the,
I don't know, for
what's
half an
that game that you
Yeah.
hit the ball?
Tetherball.
Yeah.
It took us 20 years to get a tetherball pull.
Yeah.
I mean, why can't we get a basketball hoop up there?
Yeah,
And that's embarrassing, to be quite honest with you. It's been down too long. Either you get rid of it,
yeah.
or you replace it. And I think that most people would like to have that replaced.
I remember he did try to do that. Was it last year? He was gonna try to do one of those small Minger grants for a basketball hoop over there.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
know,
think it was
Did
approved.
he submitted it, or?
He either submitted it or he was told not to. I'm not sure which.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even less expensive at this point is what you're saying, just,
Yes, here we go.
Oh, Sarah's here.
So
I couldn't see.
Jeff did submit a small Minger grant. It was not awarded.
Okay.
When our committee took a look at the situation, we too felt that it either needed to be taken down or replaced. And with the beach master plan underway, we were not really clear or comfortable moving forward with awarding a grant for the hoop, just because it was still being studied.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
thank you.
Yeah, I
Thank
totally
you, Sarah.
understand that, thank you.
Do you know how much, anybody have any idea what the cost was to replace that?
Wasn't a,
like 4,000.
like one of those
It was one
commercial, yeah, it was like,
industrial grade,
It was for one of the
like at Morton.
specialty ones
Yeah,
that was
yes.
down at First
Durable.
Street, the really, 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 really strong ones. So it was
Okay.
approximately 5,000.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, very good.
But
That answers that
would we
question.
want a less expensive,
Yeah,
I
keep
mean,
it there.
I can't remember on the beach plan, what was the plan for that area, but I'm not sure.
I think it was just
Just
a
eliminate it,
multi-purpose use
Yeah.
area.
Like a cement slab.
Like a
Yeah.
slab with no hoops, so.
Right,
Well, it was undecided if. the
Yeah,
community
it was
around
undecided.
Wanted it to be tennis, they were, you know,
Yeah. Or you could put
okay
a,
with leaving it tennis, but
I'll tell you, the area around there, they'd like to keep the tennis courts there if at all possible. I mean, you'd have a fight on your hand, I know, from being on the north side, if you eliminated Fifth Avenue Beach tennis courts. It's just a history of the park, basically is what it is, so it'd be nice if we could get that replaced. It's been down way too long, so if we can somehow get that going.
And then what about the hoop? Take that down or buy a less expensive
Well,
one?
that's
but-
why I say either we take it down completely, because it is an eyesore. It's been that way for 4 years. I literally get asked about it all
Sure.
the time,
it
so.
doesn't make a lot of sense to have basketball on the tennis court though, does it?
That was always one of my dad's contentions. Either it's a tennis court or it's a basketball court. If you're playing basketball, then you can't play tennis. It's either one or the other, so. Oh, hey, may approach.
I think it would be worth saying that there was a lot of discussion, just thinking about the blowing sand.
yeah.
Is it a tennis court? Is it a ball court? What is it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
being covered with sand.
right.
And we do have Duffy. I mean, if it's someone on a
Exactly.
bike, that is,
Basketball?
I mean, it's like 3 blocks.
That's
It's a
five-
bike right
5,
away.
6 blocks, but
Yeah.
it can be done.
But they're
Um,
nice. I think there's 6
Oh.
hoops at Duffy. I mean, it's a very nice court. It's one of our better.
So I think we should just look at taking the pole down.
Yeah, I do
Because I think
too.
it's not gonna go anywhere.
Okay.
Take it down if
I
we're
do
not gonna
too.
put a
I
hoop.
agree.
Then no one will ask about that ever.
Yeah.
again.
We need to make a
Let's
motion?
make a motion.
Yeah, let's make a motion.
Everybody's in agreement.
I'll make a motion to take the poll down.
Second it.
Okay, very
All in
good.
favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Motion passed.
The last time I was here, I brought up the cracks on the wall at Fifth Avenue Beach in the parking lot. Do you know if that was ever addressed at all?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay.
I talked to Makula and he was gonna check on it.
Okay,
He did check on it, and he told us it's normal wear and tear.
oh, really?
Normal wear and tear in a year?
That's
Less
what-
than
It
a
was
year.
less than a year. It was, you
Yeah.
know,
Was in the
it was
fall,
last
right?
fall that they started to crack.
That sounds to me the wrong recipe for concrete they used.
I'll just say the cracks are getting worse. So I
Yeah.
know there was a lot of money that was spent on those.
And it
it's-
looks so nice in this
Oh, it-
beginning, and
yeah.
now, and even I drove through with our neighbor, and she was even commenting on it. She pointed out, she goes, that was just put up. It can't
Yeah.
crack.
Right,
Well, and when you think the one at First Street's been there how many years?
right.
Yeah.
It doesn't-
I don't know, I think we should look into that more. I don't buy that.
Well,
I mean, it
it's-
seems like there should be some type of warranty or protection against that.
Is the one at
Yeah.
First Street cement blocks, or is it like a poured wall like the
It
one at
was
Fifth
cement
Avenue?
blocks.
So that's why it
Yeah.
would crack.
Yeah, that's different.
But still,
Yeah, to me, it's not acceptable.
Well,
yeah.
maybe it's not wide enough to bear the weight of the sand that hits up against it or something, you know?
But it's a design.
And the specs were wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the specs were wrong. We were,
Somebody want to look into that more?
I believe Jeff said he did look into whether it was under warranty, and they had said it was just natural.
but
settling or
did they
cracking.
come up and see it? But ask Jeff again. It's like, I think that we need to pursue that
Yes,
because that,
before it gets
it's not
worse.
going to
Or
get
can
better.
you patch it, even if, you know,
Oh,
they're not
even
gonna
patching
do
is
it?
good.
Can you
Wasn't-
patch the?
Wasn't there something said about possible cracking when we put a design into it or something?
No.
No, okay,
I don't think so.
no.
I think they were worried about it coming out okay.
The color wise and everything.
Yeah, maybe it
Yeah.
was a color,
Yeah.
okay.
Because
We
they
were
weren't
really
sure.
picky on it, on the height and the color, and it turned out
Yeah, I
perfect.
mean, everything
And so,
worked
It's
out
really
well.
beautiful. To be honest, I didn't even notice any cracks, except the ones that are already
No.
like built into
you
the,
gotta look at it. You'd notice them from your
put my
car.
glasses on.
Because
Your glasses on, Karen, you'll see them.
Yeah, I think it still
Fail
needs
that
to be addressed.
soon.
And people walk by it,
Tear
they're
and
close. You're
concrete.
gonna see it.
It's,
not like,
they mixed
I mean,
something wrong. when they did
I
it.
took a drive through there. That's the one thing I did drive because I love the beach, but I still noticed the cracks right
Yeah.
along there. So, and it seems like some are getting a little bit larger. They're not going away, so that's for sure. So, well, I feel better. Thank you. Nice job on your reports. everybody.
Thank you. Events, I admit I did not do a presentation on movies in the park. What I thought would be better, because I forgot it, is actually, I'm just gonna email you what I found out.
Okay,
Oh,
And I'll just
cool,
okay.
cool.
send you each an email, and you can see in written form, because I know I talked about it, I think, in September and October.
Right, yes. we did.
Expensive?
At both. No, I
Out of
believe
reach.
the top number was 1,200, but that was for the whole summer season, if
How
there were
many
to be a
movies?
sponsor.
Was that an open-ended
This
both?
is Luddington did 3 to 4 in the summer, and it was about $1,200, and they really just got one sponsor
That was it.
and agreed,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they put their name on a banner, and they put the stakes out, you know, a nice banner out in the park, and,
1,200?
yes, and then they
Was
had
this
to buy, sorry?
who was the sponsor, a bank?
It was the Stearns Hotel down in Luddington.
Oh, I've stayed at the
Most-
Stearns, yeah.
Yeah,
If we get it done this year, I'll sponsor.
really?
Yes. You can get it going. My company will.
Wait.
And I need tech support, though, because
Yeah,
all
I'll
the technical stuff
Yeah.
and like, where's the equipment coming from?
Okay.
Do you have the
Yeah.
equipment?
Do I have equipment? So the 1,200 doesn't include the equipment?
No, that's just for the
That's
licensing.
just for the licensing
for-
Oh, for the licensing?
That's what the whole,
So we still need a projector,
So what does
speaker.
Luddington use for equipment?
They have someone from their AV department at the high school who volunteers and has all that equipment.
oh,
And
well,
Could
Do
we
we
rent
have
it
that?
from them? I mean, if we paid them some money,
or do we
Well, I
have
don't know
a-
the-
Because they're using
At
it.
our high
They-
school?
They use it
Well,
in August.
we could do it off.
then do ours in July. I mean, do it offset it,
No,
because
they wouldn't
that,
have something
they
like
may,
that.
in,
You think?
if you buy, it's like something, if you buy it and you're only using it 3 to
Yeah.
4 times, you may
got it.
appreciate the,
Maybe, we could
It's on his.
rent a.
rent
I
the
will
kid.
I will sponsor, let's look at the
You would
AV.
do that?
Let's rent
Yeah.
the kid
And then
too.
you have to buy the DVD, and then they said what they do is they do like a raffle, and they give away the DVD of the movie at the end of the night
Oh,
with the case, so.
That's
To raise money.
Yes, and the, I can't remember what high school group he said did that, if it was Scouts or if it was a different sporting group. I'll have to go back and look at my notes, from the high school did kind of the raffle.
See, but
and then-
instead of putting my company name to sponsor, I would put the City of Manistee Parks Commission.
Well, then we're in.
And I think we'd have a raffle, but I think, if, you know,
To pay
or
for.
donation, I think you'd have to call, you know, we don't want to get into that
Support
raffle
our-
license.
Support our parks.
Support our parks. I wouldn't give
Right.
it to, I wouldn't give that money away.
No.
And we should, earmark it for something specific, like a
Yeah,
backboard.
more movies for next year.
More
There you go.
movies for next year.
Yeah, it's a
Backboard.
this is a $1,200 project.
If
I
you,
hate to
yeah,
interject some reality, but I don't know what the city's gonna say, right?
Oh, you mean.
Right.
You know how we run into
Yeah.
the brick wall
yeah.
a lot of the time.
If you get me in contact with the people who do all the tech stuff in
I
Ludington,
have their emails.
yeah, send it to me. I'll make contact and see what
wouldn't that be
equipment.
I'll make you a PowerPoint slide presentation.
I like to,
don't have
I
any
like to
pictures,
continue. I
sorry.
think it's a big draw. It'd be
Yeah.
so much fun.
And Karen, maybe present it to city council at the next city council, maybe the next one's kind of crazy. but-
Once we get all the tech stuff.
Suggested.
Yeah.
Not the next one, I don't think, because if we
No,
had to
so much
organize,
going on.
I know, we
Yeah.
need equipment and.
I thought
Yeah.
last time.
We'll do the groundwork. I'll help you with
So
that.
much fun.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Dave,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
All right, so story time in the park. I talked to Angie
Yeah.
Fisher, who is not Angie Fisher anymore because she got married.
Oh, Angie.
I want to say it's like Holtman or something like that, but I don't want to get it wrong. Yes, but we have 2 dates, July 10 and 24. She wants to do one at Morton Park because she missed the Morton Park story time last
Oh,
summer.
isn't that cute?
Okay.
One of them,
love
and then
that.
the other one, we thought maybe Reed's Park because that's one of the ones we haven't
Yes.
done anything.
Yes,
Oh, that
and there's a
would-
lot of kids
That would be
go
perfect.
door to door through those apartments, so that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Hang a little flyer or something.
Flyers would be
Nice.
nice. And then, I don't know what the theme ideas are, but I had the idea of a Mad Hatter's Tea Party because
Oh.
you could do croquet and they make these little wicket covers that look like the playing cards and
Oh,
isn't that fun?
isn't that cute?
And I was thinking about your garden club. Spirit of the
Yeah.
Woods Garden Club mentioned having a tea out there sometime, so
Are you on
I
that?
thought, well, maybe that's too girly, but if you make it a Mad Hatter Tea Party, maybe it's
Oh,
Yeah.
Great idea.
the White Rabbit and the,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are just ideas we were throwing around.
Absolutely, always,
Okay.
always.
Can
So there's
anybody-
really only 2 dates for,
There's only two.
and I can't do July 10th, but I can do
Oh,
July
the ones that we
24th.
signed up for are not happening. Yes?
I don't think anybody signed up for anything except the
I
10th.
thought I
and the-
did July 13th or something.
Maybe,
Maybe, I would think it was the 10th then, because it was the 10th. and the
Oh,
24th.
but we can't do it that day, or we
You
can.
can't? Those are our dates.
Oh,
I
we're
can't
only
do-
doing
We're only
two
doing-
Can't come.
all summer long.
yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha, okay. then
August didn't work out last year because not
That's
many
okay.
people would show
Okay,
up
so that's
in
July
August.
10th, I'm still on, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
and the 24th, so
okay.
one of those is gonna be Reed's Park.
If I'm here, I'd
Tea
do the
party.
24th too, but I can't guarantee, I'm gonna say no, I'm not gonna be here.
But you
can-
said, Laney, you would be here on the 10th.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
because I might be up in the UP.
Can anyone be here on the 10th to do story time?
Didn't I say I was gonna be here?
Yeah.
I thought you just said the 24th.
No!
I'm gonna say I can't be here. I'm done.
Okay, so we're good. I'm
Let me
so
stay with
sorry.
you. I'm no, look at me, I'm like going, I'm still stuck and we're only doing two. Didn't we do 4 or 5 later?
Yeah, we did, we did.
Karen, you
Okay. Slow, I'm a little slow. What can I say?
Okay. So yes, okay, Karen on the 10th and Laney on the 24th, and I will try to show up for those two and help with
Gotcha,
everything. I just want to make sure we have multiple people that can
gotcha, yes.
step in. Okay. And the park art job, we have no dates and no art currently.
How about the lady that wanted to volunteer some? Wasn't that a lady that
I had
volunteered?
a second email from her, but then nothing after that.
Okay.
So she
So
expressed
let's-
interest, and
Okay.
I asked if she would like to submit something to,
I gotcha.
let
know
me
who
know what
might?
she would like to submit, but she didn't come forward yet, so.
I got an idea, Karen. I think, and he's so generous always and so nice, and not an original print, but a print. And I have some of them, they're gorgeous. Ken Cooper. You know, he had signed the print. I don't know if he would, but that would be a neat, he's local, he's
Oh,
excellent,
absolutely.
he's real renowned. So that would, I could call Ken or someone, do you know him?
I don't, but I just went to his art exhibition down at the Ludington Area Art
Okay.
Center yesterday.
Oh,
And they had a whole hall with just his
How long is that up
mixed
for?
media, I don't know. It's just little small mixed media things of historical
yes.
figures and
And he
stuff.
has some of Manistee. He's got, I don't know if he still has the prints or not, but they were just prints, but they were gorgeous. If you won one of those, he's got the city, he's got, not the city hall, but the
That would be
Ramsdale,
cool.
the fire
Yeah.
station. He's got so many from all over Manistee.
Cool.
Be nice.
And it's in his own, you know, how he does it, so unique.
I like
Okay.
that, because I'd like to see uniquely Manistee type items offered during that forest festival. You know what suggestion I had was, how about a tour maybe of the Morton Salt Company?
Well, they're the ones who, you could approach them.
Okay.
The factories.
They used to do that.
Like PCA
Yes.
used to. And I don't know, maybe they got away from it for doing
Oh, okay.
liability things.
Yeah, no, they might have.
But, you know, somebody would have to approach them.
I gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were neat.
You know, even dinner somewhere, how about, you know, just something uniquely Manistee?
Or tickets to the Ramsdale. right?
Tickets
'Cause
to the
that's-
Ramsdale, tickets to the Vogue,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
Yeah, that's-
stuff from
Yeah, that's a good
Placanos,
idea.
that's, you know, it's up here, yeah. I'm just thinking that way. I like it because it's a time where a lot of people are in town. And I thought it would be nice, for something uniquely Manistee to be either given out in case they wanna participate, they take it home, Manistee, it's a nice little,
Okay.
you know.
Art.
So then our artwork in the September one can be a little
Yeah.
more open is what I'm trying to say. I mean, we're not shutting out Manistee there either, but it just, you know.
No.
Yeah. It
Never.
just gives us
Good idea.
options too.
They just opened that Pure Manistee somewhere
Yes.
downtown. McClellan, I think, is the last name. They may have pieces in there that would be cool for unique Manistee, and we can, you know, I'll have to go on there and look and stuff, but just thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I like your idea with the print. I think that's a great idea.
If he still has some, and if he,
Yeah.
And if anybody has any ideas on where to hide it this time, either
Oh.
time, don't say it now, but like, email me. 'cause-
And I'm bad with that. I'm real bad with that, the clues.
Well, I can work on the clues, but
I know.
what location to hide is,
Okay, we need to
It's tough.
discuss
more
that.
ideas.
it's
Yeah.
tough, we'll have to
We need to discuss that so we can, yeah, okay.
quietly.
Yes, privately.
We will, okay.
And
Good.
then, only because it's kind of in the same idea, did you want to talk about your idea for?
There's two more. And one, first one was a police pop-up, and this was from Josh Glass.
Yes.
And he said, the police would like to do an event in a park.
Yes.
And just a friendly police pop-up that, and I think they're gonna bring their, whatever that mascot is, and he gives out sunglasses and neat stuff, and real friendly and outgoing. And then Josh offered hot dogs and a little, like a picnic afterwards, that the
Perfect.
police officer would help, and he just wanted our support, our approval, and to be there. And I suggested Morton Park, because I thought we never really had the big
Yeah.
grand opening, and this could be kind of our grand opening at
And
Morton.
everything's there now, grills and
There's
everything.
grills and there's shade structure and there's got a
that
couple
would
of
be
picnic
fun.
tables, and
Yeah.
we can bring blankets, you know, not
Yes.
everybody, or bring your lawn chair, we can go door to door. So I think he'd like a little feedback on a date, and he's real flexible, he's, you know, very
Well,
easy to work with.
seems like July is like the month, because there's people around, you know, and they're available.
Weekend, weekday?
Yeah, what are they thinking?
Well, yeah, what's
Are
he
they thinking
thinking?
weekend or weekday or evening or morning or what?
Well, I would think that we'd wanna do maybe like 4 or 5 if we're doing hot dogs, you know.
Right.
Let it
So
be their
people can
supper,
Right.
after work.
let it be their supper after work, say 5,
So
Absolutely.
during the week,
yeah, during the week.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
What time,
Yeah.
like 5?
How
How
much
can
is
I-
he looking for? How many hours? What's he looking for?
Not very long, you know.
Hour
I don't think so.
program?
I don't even know much of a
Probably be
program.
couple hours. at least.
Couple
Yeah, I
hours.
mean, a little setup and stuff like that, but I think, you know, we can do
We can do picnic.
and he'll probably do a little talk or something. I think they'll do most of the program as far as,
I
and it's
got
not
it.
gonna be a long program, I think.
I
it's
gotcha.
just mingle with that little mutt thing, whatever it
If it's
is.
in July, it stays light, really late in July.
Yes.
Yes,
so
it does. That would be
It
nice.
could be late or like 6 o'clock or something where
And it-
people are home
Or
from
5
work.
to 7, you know, just walk through, you know,
Yeah.
give them a thing and we can have some basketball there, we can have some stuff. And, okay, if we wanna do it, I'll get back with you and let him.
Yeah,
Good idea.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Not the 10th or 24th, and not the 4th of July, the police are
Right.
busy.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Suggest the
Okay.
fourth.
I'll watch July 4th.
Yeah, how about the 4th of July?
Couple hours, 6 cops there. And then the other idea came when we had that talk by Mark Fetter, and Karen came dancing in and was doing her Motown and line dancing, and I thought, where'd you learn this? Well, she took a class, and she's very good at this, and
I don't know about.
oh, she's amazing. And I thought, dancing in the park. and have it at Fifth Avenue on a nice summer evening. Start it like at 8. You could have the fire pits going like we did. If it's chilly, we could do the fire inside. Pardon me? Karen?
No, no. Don't we know a dance instructor in town?
Well, maybe there is one, but you had more energy.
You do.
Oh.
Yeah, so much.
No, here's what we need to do. If
You own it.
I would not mind doing that. I don't know.
I make a
don't know
motion.
Enough of those. No.
You don't have to do many. You don't have to do many because you're just going to teach it. We'll play some music. People can bring stuff.
I only know one dance right now.
Well, then you got
3 months.
you got time.
Sign me up.
You got time. Start practicing. Go home and practice.
Think about it.
Yeah, and we can see if there is anybody
Thank you,
that could
Karen.
help you, like a dance instructor. But you
That's what
had
I'm-
the enthusiasm.
Well, I'll be there. I'll enthusiastically involve everybody. But I need
Because
somebody
no
to-
one knows any. I mean, that would just be fun, and it's not like, I think it would be a social mixer. I don't know how many people we would get, but I thought it's something for adults in the park.
Absolutely.
Our other events are
It
kind
could
of
be
bring
all
your kids to
ages,
parks.
too.
So-
Oh,
It'd be
you know, there's
intergenerational
people
event.
who do stuff at the senior center might be willing.
Oh.
You could do drumming in the park too.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, good
Yeah.
idea.
Maybe
mean-
check the.
And they do yoga. I mean, there are other things offered in
Yeah.
parks.
Yeah.
I like the line dancing because we've been to weddings and that circle out front
Yes.
is so pretty as the sun sets and a sailboat goes by. It would just be a nice, I think it'd be a fun night. The adults did like the stargazing, so this could be really fun.
Yeah,
Is there a place out there on that patio that you could put a couple poles and string the overhead lights?
Yes, you could do it in the sand, just outside.
Kind of fun.
You know what I mean? What do you call
Yeah,
those little?
I have those.
Yeah, cafe lights
Yes.
or whatever?
Yes.
That would-
Remember, I had those
I-
solar ones.
Yes, I have lights. Well, when we get this going,
Okay.
remind me because
I got a name for it because I have been thinking about that, but I didn't think I was going to be the leader.
you've got 3 months. You'll have
Oh,
these down.
What is a pavement party or a pavement dance? Anybody know that term?
No.
No.
When I'm reading the historical stuff and Mark Federer's,
No.
they called it a pavement party, I think.
Wouldn't
And
it
the
just
churches
be in
were
the-
up in arms about it because there was dancing going on. This is years ago and stuff.
Outside in the park.
Yeah, but I thought because it is, well, if it is actually a term, a pavement party would be fun. Or a pavement, like at a park though.
Yeah, that could be. Or dancing. I like dancing in the park too. I just thought that tells it.
Yep.
The park.
Okay, I'm
You can
in.
ask
Okay.
if there's
I'll be the
students-
But we can ask Mark.
students at the Conservatory of Dance. I know they
Yeah.
performed the Irish dancing at an Irish party at our church.
Yeah.
So I know they do more than ballet and tap.
Yes.
I know that they do some other things, but.
Ask them if they know any line dance.
Yeah, just that good old fashioned line
Just
dancing.
say-
That might,
yeah, just
keep
tell
it like that with some.
Line
We're gonna
dancing.
volunteer to help us out with some line dancing.
Yeah,
Ask them that.
keep it fun. I think, and if you didn't want to dance, people would just come there and.
Oh, I don't care if you dance, yeah. No, but I'll be the.
I'll be there for entertainment. Just
Me
watch
too,
it.
that's what I think.
Oh,
But I
it's
don't know a
fun.
line dance. I would love to learn one.
Okay.
Okay,
I mean, we could do hustles and stuff. I know
That's
a little bit.
exactly.
Sometimes, because I haven't done it in a long time, I forget stuff.
go on another cruise and practice out.
Listen to it.
Watch other people. Come back with ideas.
I gotcha, okay.
Very excited to see what you bring back, Karen.
Me too.
Capital improvements and budget were John's, wanted committees on those, but he's not here. Does anyone have anything? Or Jeff would jump in with his updates, but,
I think some of this we already covered.
because we already have our budget priorities that we voted on. That was before the beach master plan came into play, but,
Right.
yeah. Does that all still seem like reasonable budget priorities? Okay.
Yeah, we read the
I
budget.
mean, it's only till June.
Right. And then July 1st, the new budget starts,
Yeah.
We
right?
don't have a lot of say over the
Yeah.
budget,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, okay,
you
yeah.
know, we
Advise.
can ask.
Yes, be advised.
Okay, is there any old business? I did not have any old business to add. Anything old, Liz?
I don't have anything.
No.
Nobody?
Nothing, no?
And then new business, the Duffy Park concessions, I think, did we talk about that
Yes.
in the meeting already?
We did.
Okay, I didn't know if we just mentioned it in passing. But do we have a date you want to clean, Liz? The
For
concessions?
cleaning.
Want to pick one?
Sure.
Saturday or Sunday?
How about Easter? You always come up.
The best days.
So will there be any problem with
July
us getting in there?
Like some eggs.
Well, when does baseball go on there? Is it all summer long?
At Duffy?
Yeah,
I believe so, and I mean, I think it's used quite a bit.
okay, because soccer is gonna end mid-May.
So sooner than later,
but
so.
I don't know if we could get anybody in there soon
Yeah.
enough.
Does anybody want to check to see who would want to go in there? Does anybody know anybody who'd want to go in there? You know,
But somebody was gonna ask the seniors, MAP seniors.
and now it's
Oh,
be for
it
next
doesn't-
year's,
It doesn't work out for their timeline. 'Cause
no, but
they're-
it would for next year's grad
Grad
bash.
bash.
The juniors would work out to start.
Okay, then the-
Maybe, Karen, do you know anybody in the juniors that, do you want to do that? Or the other one is they came in front of city council, the band boosters want to be, the band recognized as a not-for-profit. It looks
Oh,
like
that
they were
might be
seeking
good.
That would
funds.
be great. That would be a
Yeah.
nice.
And then if they buy snacks, if they buy too many, they can always sell them at the football games. They have a place to get rid of them, I
Oh,
think.
cool.
Is there any kind of like liability waivers or things that someone needs to sign to go into that building and sell? Like if they're
Oh,
gonna
I'm
sell
sure.
coffee or who does that?
You have to do some.
I'm
food
sure the city
safety
has it.
thing if you're gonna
Yeah,
cook
and
anything.
that's one advantage. I believe that the band boosters does understand the selling of it because they do it at basketball and football. So they would have the compliance as far as this sanitation goes. And then we should check on what the city requirements are for liability.
Okay.
Clean
I can
date.
check with the band boosters if you want to see if they're interested or do we?
Sure.
And
So-
just,
Yeah.
But you probably have to give them some idea when it would start.
yeah, I guess just give them an opportunity. It may not be
Yeah.
that big right now, but we'll just see if there's any interest at all. And then they would have to get with like Eric Thummer or someone to get the schedule and see and,
And who
I mean,
has a
it's-
key?
pardon me?
Who has a key?
Yeah, they might have to, it might not happen right this way, but it could happen for summer and we have fall soccer. So it's time, we could get it rolling.
Just start planning.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll ask the band boosters.
thank you. And then I put Sands Park.
I'll
in-
ask the city too, excuse me, I shouldn't jump in, but I thought we better ask the city too before the band boosters, just to make sure that
Right, that's okay.
Yes.
that it's
Yeah.
okay to let someone use ours, so I'll do that first,
Okay. Any more?
not on that.
Okay. And then I did put Sands Park and Jefferson on here under new business, but is there anything anybody wants to?
You know, I think what we did was a good idea right now.
Okay.
It's up in the air, yeah, nobody knows what's
Yeah,
quite.
I mean, it was
uncertain.
conversation, conceptual, we understand all that.
But it's time for a plan, because the school's gonna come down, so
Yes.
one
Oh,
or the
it's
other.
gonna be happening real quick.
Yeah, and it's like, kinda like the parks are,
Well,
Well, I
and
wanna be on the back end of it going,
Yes.
let's see, we'll take, yeah, you know.
So the whole process should have started with the Sands Park Control Board. And so last
Oh, that's
week,
right. Yeah,
there was
thank
an
you.
actual Sands Park Control Board meeting.
Yes, thank you.
And there was, we talked through different uses of it and so on. And then when we got to the part of the maintenance agreement, the meeting ended and really nothing got done.
Okay.
and so we don't know what's coming.
Yeah, we don't really know.
But it was presented to the county.
Yeah, and it's been presented,
Oh, this one?
To the
has been
land
presented
bank.
to the-
Well, no, what was presented to the county was the
the-
Oh, I gotcha, okay.
going to
thank
the
you.
school.
so it's coming up the land bank line.
It was
and it's
presented
been
to the county, yeah.
Presented to the MAPS board, so it's been presented to other groups.
No, okay.
On that,
But not all of them.
on that same line, the county has, it used to be the County Parks Commission.
Oh, yeah.
And
Did you
then,
bring it up?
I need to hear that.
they changed the name because the county doesn't have a park. So they broadened it, and it's the County Recreation Commission now. And townships have parks, most townships have. Stronach is a beautiful park. There's many nice township parks, but some counties, Ionia County owns a park, many counties have parks, but we don't. And so this county recreation has
A committee.
a committee and an active commission, and they meet, and that was where I read in their minutes that they had presented about Sands Park to the county recreation, and they spelled it all out more than, and I didn't bring it tonight, I should email you that, guys. And what the county Recreation Committee was presented, which was ownership of going to the school for Sands Park. So I thought, what my recommendation would be, and I mentioned that in that we should possibly have a person attend that county recreation meeting. And it'd be nice, and I would like to see someone from the county. There should be collaboration. We all should be working together. I'd love to see a county person. Brian Dunlap used to come on occasion. We need a representative here and mix, we're on the same goal, we're in the same county.
Yes,
So
exactly.
we have a lot of
Yeah.
so I don't know, they must meet once a month if anybody's interested in,
Where do they meet?
I don't have any of I don't know the date or the,
Yeah.
exactly. We can look it up.
We get
I
their
can-
schedule and then one of us always attends.
Yeah.
Yes, and then reports back.
You can get it online. It shows.
I think it's nice to actually be there because I
Yeah.
think there should be a face and there should be some more collaboration.
Right.
We're good at collaborating within our city. It's time now to broaden.
I get that, okay.
And
Okay.
because there is an overlap.
And then there was that group, and it wasn't really a master plan, but the parks were discussed there with Teresa. And John Veach had questioned that, like, it wasn't for an update on the master plan, or was it? That meeting that we went to, Laney, down at West Shore, and I can't remember what it was, but we should ask Teresa if there's more of those, what was that exactly? Because we should be represented on that or try to attend that.
So is it a master plan meeting you're talking about?
It wasn't the beach, it was another master plan, I believe.
The city.
The county.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that was in the West Shore. building?
Yes.
Oh, in town.
That's the
Okay.
city updated master.
Yeah, and I thought it was a housing thing. Jim,
No.
you were there.
Is that the
Oh,
county
was that?
recreation master plan?
Was that in March?
We sat there and then they had a breakout session. Sarah, do you remember?
Yeah, Manistee County is doing a master plan.
Okay.
So I believe that that's what that was.
So, and then they involved the
They
city.
had like the Legos and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and dots, sticky dots.
And the
stuff.
dots.
Yeah, okay, thank
Are
you.
they still meeting, Sarah?
I don't know.
So we should check on that because,
When was that meeting?
Like, Manistee. No, wait a minute.
Everything's named Manistee.
I know.
Right? That's where I get,
It wasn't the county, that was the city.
I thought
think
it
it was
was something to do with
Teresa.
housing. I
That
thought it
was the city master plan because it was Teresa Waldo.
it was Teresa
right?
Waldo was leading it.
Okay, I'm gonna sit down.
No, we did
that's
because,
It was the city.
because Mark Whitliff was at our table.
Yeah.
You know what? I was emailing with Teresa and asked to be invited to that meeting. I think I must have got dropped off. Was it just in March? She had
I
said-
don't.
I don't remember. No, it wasn't.
I think it was sooner.
I think it was
than
back
that.
in the winter time.
Yeah,
I think it was
should have been like January.
So then the next one, we should get someone, so let's resume that.
I
Karen,
asked-
if you want to, but you don't have to go if you can't, but someone should be,
Yeah.
we need to spread the fun.
Oh, we need to be
We need to be represented, and we should not be reading in the minutes after the fact, or watching on a video, we should be there, and
When she requested our help in the descriptions of all the parks.
Right,
it's good, she wants
Yeah.
our input,
Back.
yeah.
and you did a good job.
yes, and thank you.
That reminds me that in Jen Teller's correspondence, she had several emails, sorry. One was requesting that we put updated pictures on the city website.
Oh, that's right.
For the parks. And I don't know who's in charge of the website, for the City of Manistee, but like Morton Park still has the old.
Picture.
Okay.
not great
Yeah, we
pictures,
should
and
be able to do
Duffy's
that.
should
Yeah.
show the nice,
Yeah, good idea.
How it looks now.
I gotcha, okay.
something
Yeah.
updated
I
and nice.
gotcha. That would
Okay.
be
I
nice,
don't know
because
who
we have
does
had
that.
some work done,
Does
yeah.
Kelly update that, Kelly McCall? I don't know.
I don't know.
I can check with her. I'm
Who's in
sure
charge?
if we get pictures and send them, they can replace it.
Okay.
Okay. And I might, if you don't want to have someone go take pictures, I could probably have some from when I did that presentation to City
Oh,
Council
yeah.
of the different parks.
Okay, good.
Some of them, anyway. Okay, sorry, that's a side.
Okay.
Roundtable discussion, we've discussed a lot. Does anybody have any other?
Do.
Oh, Karen. Great.
Pamphlets, are we getting more, park pamphlets printed this year? Do we have some we can pick up and distribute? You know which ones, the ones that we updated last year, I know.
I just ordered Marina pamphlets,
Did you?
but we can get.
If you could look into that,
Parks,
please,
yeah.
yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those are very nice. And I was just in Peas in a Pod, they asked me about them, so,
Okay.
yeah. The other thing is, I know we've been talking a lot about decommissioning, possibly decommissioning these softball diamonds. Is there?
No, that's off the table.
Oh, it is. Okay.
The latest version of the beach master plan, the south, it all stays the same. The
It
south
does.
bit. Yeah.
Okay, 'cause that's
getting
a nice
colder
diamond,
and-
yeah.
Well, Sands Park is still a possibility.
Yeah,
being
Sands Park might
decommissioned.
be an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are
Sands
there
Park.
any league plays that go on there? Anybody know?
Sands
League
Park? Oh,
play?
yeah.
Oh, yes.
MRA
Little League.
uses it. Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay, MRA.
neighborhood uses it.
Okay.
And
Practice.
there's some kind of traveling group that uses it too.
Okay, cool. So it is used.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then that's good.
Despite what you may hear.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I'm just,
last summer it definitely was because they were parking both sides of 8th Street and
Yeah.
downtown Robinson, and it was nice to see it full and people.
The
coming
problem
out.
is
that is cool.
that field isn't very user friendly.
Yeah.
And the parking isn't.
Yeah, user friendly.
Yeah. Well, you know, field maintenance is not
Yeah.
always cheap either.
So, but that might be, there's a drainage issue.
Yeah.
So that's
And that's
more expensive.
Yeah, exactly. But those are the two. The other thing is I saw that the house next to the waterworks building is up for sale. I have this idea in my head about the waterworks building, the marina across the street, and the house being one package. Tear down the house, use the waterworks building for a row club. Do we have a row club in the
No.
mix?
That would be,
We need something like that because that helps with children's scholarships to go to college. And we have water all over us. I would love to see some type of rowing club, sculling club, boat club for, but I thought you could use that. If you have the marina, you could take your
a great.
right down.
What?
Yeah.
There's a million places you could start a rowing.
But that would be,
Absolutely.
that would be.
But I was looking at that because that's kind of a
They love the
shell.
rowing house. It looks like Annapolis had it's like an old, that's what
Stone
a rowing,
house,
a
yeah.
sculling place was.
So-
That's an incredible.
I do know the city is organizing an event for developers to come in and throw out ideas of what to do. Like, so they invest and develop
I gotcha.
the place.
I gotcha.
But, that lot behind it was for sale,
Yes.
and the city should have bought it.
Yeah, and it's gone already.
It's gone already,
No,
yeah.
I was thinking that would be a
Yeah.
whole package.
Yeah.
So then you'd offer ice skating in the wintertime and rowing in the summertime. And it's got, so there was my idea.
Caledonia, it's one of those towns that is not on the water in the center of the state. My friend went down there and she goes, I went to the school and all the kids were on rowing machines in a
Yes.
town that doesn't have water.
Yes.
And, Grand Rapids has a ski team and they
Yes.
come up here to ski, but Manistee doesn't. We have to, and then we say, well, the kids have nothing to do and they get in trouble. We have to provide something.
Well, you'd have to, first of all, talk to the public school. That'd be the only place to start.
Right.
But it could be a rowing club even
Yeah,
outside
that's
the
true.
school.
Yeah, 'cause I'm
Because
sure
there is
kids
one in
up-
Traverse City, a rowing and there's a sailing club, and we have better places to do both than they
Do you know
do.
anyone who would teach that?
Not offhand, but I'm sure
Oh, there are
people
people.
out there
I
that
don't-
are itching to
Yeah.
even find a place to do it. If that's what their specialty is, not everybody's hiring a rowing coach, right?
Well, you could probably put a classified ad in the newspaper for free saying, we're interested in
Right,
starting
exactly.
a rowing club. Is
Yes.
there anyone interested in helping us do this?
That would be a good idea. I just thinking about that. We're surrounded by water up here.
Great
I-
idea.
Yeah, and so and I'm gonna go back to Detroit where I came from. We taught kids how to row on Belle Isle at the boat club.
All the
That
schools have
was
rowing
huge.
sculling
Yes.
clubs.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
And so the kids have a chance to
It's a life
possibly
sport.
get a scholarship.
A scholarship or a
Exactly.
life sport.
Exactly. So I thought about that and I said, how come we don't have that up here?
No, I love it.
Can you do that at the marina? I don't know what a boathouse looks like for.
Rowing, you just need a lot of
Long.
long.
Places,
So,
yeah, they're
in
long
Traverse
What I've
City,
seen.
Store
what
it
I've
or to
seen.
put in the
So,
water?
in Traverse City by the, why can't I think of it?
The bank is down there. Do you know where it is?
Where that hole is and there's a park, you're going down the
Oh.
highway.
The old,
They have a sculling setup there, but I can't think.
But they also have another one, that's a little private sailing club kind of too. They have both there.
Okay,
Past-
but this is kind of
We could, I mean, that-
or
have
by
a
the
cool
Boardman
building.
Lake.
They have a cool building, and you have to have, you can't, it's hard to hull sculls because of their length and their awkwardness.
Yeah.
It is neat to have the clubhouse where they're stored, where you just
Would
go
be
grab
boom,
it.
boom, boom.
Yes, yes, and that is like the old Ivy League,
Exactly, exactly.
kind of rough, doesn't have to have a bathroom, doesn't
No,
have to
no,
have
no.
heat, it doesn't, just
Yeah,
as
just
it
roll.
is.
Yeah.
Just as it is, you
Yeah.
know? That's a neat idea.
Anyways, yeah, but I didn't know the marina sold. I thought it would be a package
The
deal.
marina
would be
isn't
sweet.
sold.
Or not, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
is it?
marina across the street. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
sold.
gone, yeah.
Because that would have been a nice little package there. You
It
know.
would've.
Would have been right there. You could develop it the way you need it. Anyways, that was just an idea. But I saw that the house was up for sale, and I went, huh?
Yeah.
Tear
And
that
was
down. You
just
got a nice
redone.
chunk of,
Yeah.
laying there. But it would be, yeah. Yeah. But anyways, that was an idea I had. That's it.
Okay. No, I don't have anything except for I can make a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Woo!
Nice seeing you guys all again.
That was good.
Oh my gosh, can I just say
Yes.
unofficially,